It's time for us to link you up with the conversation table, and we're still reflecting on 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. But this time around, we are putting in focus LAMATA, which is the Lagos State Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, and that's an agency that's solely responsible for doing a whole lot in terms of transportation. But I'm not here to speak. I've got my guest. She's been around for almost 2 hours now. Just to come and shed light on all of this and take us through this excursion this morning. Engineer Abimbola Akinajo is my guest this morning. She's Managing Director for LAMATA, and she's joining us on the conversation table. It's nice to have you. Good morning, madam.
Good morning, Victor. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. So happy New Year to you.
Oh, same to you.
Great. All right. So let's begin this conversation and this chat this morning by reflecting on this past 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu with reference to transportation, which is the component under which your agency resides. So how has things been for LAMATA?
Well, within LAMATA, we have been very busy. Things are looking up and they are good. And we're moving on with the business of moving the people of Lagos.
Which is very good. All right, so we'll talk about that business very, very shortly. But let's talk about the direction of transport infrastructure and, of course, implementation, which your agency has been solely responsible for. Basically, let's reflect on the bus services, which you guys have been offering. How's it been?
Okay, with the bus services. So for LAMATA, for instance, so many things we've done in the past 600 days. We have commissioned Abimbola Oshodi BRT. We commissioned that infrastructure, 16 or 14 kilometer road from Oshodi to Abimbola.
Right.
And it includes a BRT lane. And for us, it's been a huge success because it's reduced travel time, especially for those on the BRT buses, from anything from 2.5 hours to 35-40 minutes. So the operation is going on. We've extended our e-ticketing platform in that area, and the vision is being realized slowly but surely.
Right.
Anybody that's traveling on any of our regulated bus systems will now be using that carry card from the 1st of February. Right now, we use it on all of our systems that we've implemented within Abimbola Oshodi and some standard routes that we've done.
Okay.
We have, when we started, or when Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration started, we had only 8 bus routes that was being regulated by LAMATA.
Okay.
Now we have 57.
57? From 8 to 57?
From 8 to 57 in 600 days.
Ooh.
And that is the vision that we have. We're driving to ensure that the people of Lagos have alternatives, forms of travel and transportation. We're trying to bring into the fold of regulated transportation the bus services. So that we've done. We've also commenced the Abimbola bus terminal, which we've started, and that will be completed this year.
Okay.
We are looking at the launch of the first and last mile bus scheme. So we have 500 buses that will be launched over the next couple of months. And
I'm going to come to that because this first and last mile is something which the Honorable Commissioner for Transport equally touched on when he was here last week to also reflect on 600 days. But before then, let's look at the usage of the BRT corridor now, which is the second one that was launched. Was that July or August last year?
It was August.
Right. So how has it been in terms of usage? Can we determine how many people are making use of that particular BRT corridor?
Okay, so we can, because we're using this e-ticketing system, it's allowed us ease of visibility of data, and that has been one of the really good things that's come out of using the e-ticketing system.
Okay.
For the passenger, it's ease of getting on the buses, but for LAMATA, it allows us to see data and to see daily as it happens, and that aids our planning. So with regard to number of passengers, on the BRT routes, we carry now, that particular route, we carry round about 40,000 passengers a day.
Ooh, 40,000?
40,000 passengers a day.
Wonderful. And we have how many operators? 3?
We have 3 operators who run that route, yes.
Right. Okay, which is good. So, and the e-ticketing, which you mentioned now, you said it's a platform that allows all the bus services to be networked. Is that correct? So let's reflect on the advantage of this carry card, which you mentioned a short while ago.
Okay, so what the card does for us is, first of all, it allows us to board the buses quicker. So we're not now in the business of, oh, I want my change, oh, I have paid, I haven't paid. You would load your card before you get on the bus, and you would just tap in and get on the bus. It also helps the operators because it ensures that the revenue is protected. It helps LAMATA in that it helps us with our planning. So for every person on that value chain, you get a value for using that carry card. And basically what we will end up doing, this carry card will help us to engender the intermodal transportation system that Lagos State is driving toward. In the next month or so, it will also be available on the ferries. And the vision is when our rail systems come on board as well, they will be using the carry card. So as far as LAMATA is concerned and as far as Lagos State is concerned, everybody that wants to travel on any of our regulated public transportation system will use the carry card.
So let's get this now in terms of clearer understanding. So I make use of the carry card to board a BRT bus, and by the time I get to the Ikpakodu terminal, I can also use the carry card. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
Same thing. Oh, that sounds pretty interesting. All right, so you talked about the first mile and the last mile scheme. Let's talk about that now in terms of bus services.
Okay, so the first and last miles bus scheme is, let's imagine, for us, it's a bus that will take you closest to your destination. So you come out of your house, you want to get to the terminal or to a BRT bus stop or to a water ferry station. You can get onto a last mile bus, and they do journeys between 3 to 4 kilometers maximum. They will take you to a major terminal, and from that terminal you can go on to your office, your home, and then when you get off the terminal, there'll be another bus, last mile bus, that can take you closest to your destination.
Right.
So from LAMATA's point of view, what Mr. Governor has said is that we want to sort of kick this off, and the state has invested in this alongside private sector, and we will be starting with 500 buses. Now, over the next year, we will do a maximum of 2,000 buses.
Right. So this 500 that you're deploying for this scheme, what kind of buses are we talking about? How many? What's the capacity?
So the capacity for the last mile buses will be no more than 11.
Okay, so they're going to be the smaller
buses, and we see them as buses that will serve the suburbia, the areas that the big buses will not get to. So the big buses, the ferries, the terminal, the rail, they can pick you up from those areas and take you closer to your destination.
And Engineer Akinajo, can you just tell us, is it a way of eliminating the so-called Okadas and the Maras or the Keke Napefs, as the case may be?
Well, from the directive that Mr. Governor gave some time ago, where he banned the Okadas and the Maruas from certain local governments.
Right.
What he then directed LAMATA to do was that those areas are the first places that we will implement the first and last mile buses.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, like my commissioner for transportation always says, the Okada and the Maras are not part of our master plan.
Right.
So the vision will be that these buses will replace those all over Lagos as we roll out.
Okay, so gradually the first phase of it will now be implemented in the 6 local governments and the 9 LCDAs.
That's correct.
Okay then, so that sounds pretty interesting. But for clearer understanding, we're saying now that from my, perhaps the front of my house or just a few meters away from my house, I can pick any of these buses and then it takes me to a major bus stop where I can get the bigger buses. Is that what it means?
That's exactly what it means. The vision is for these buses not to be on our major routes. They're just to assist the passengers to get close to the major routes so they can get on. I mean, we can also walk, we can cycle. Those are part of the things that LAMATA is pushing. We have a non-motorized transport policy that's just been approved, and that now speaks to the fact that every new road that the state would build, we would have pedestrian walkways, and we are working with some private sector to implement cycle paths.
Right.
So the vision is that we do as much of non-motorized transportation as we can to get to the major routes. But if you need a bus, that is also available.
All right, then. So let's talk about the rail, because a short while ago, you're just about mentioning rail transportation. And for some time now, the Blue Line has been on stream. We've been talking about that. How far have we gone in terms of construction with the Blue Line?
So the blue line is from Okokomaiko to Marina. But the phasing of it is, we have split that, the state has split that into 2 projects. So there is from Mile 2 to Marina, and that's the one we're concentrating on.
Okay.
From Mile 2 to Marina, I would say that implementation is about 78% complete. Within the 600 days, we completed the sea crossing, which was a major feat for the state. A continuous beam system, and this is the first one that was implemented in West Africa, and all of that was commissioned by Mr. Governor, or was flagged off. The final concrete was done by Mr. Governor.
All right.
So the Marina station is now being built, because along that route we built all the stations except Marina station, and that is in progress as we speak.
Okay.
That rail line will complete 2022, and by end of third quarter we should be operational.
End of third quarter of 2022.
We should be operational.
The blue line should be up and running finally.
Yes, finally.
Because it's been a long time coming. The construction has gone over 10 years now, and people are asking the question, when are we going to see passenger operations for this blue line? But you are making it very clear right here that hopefully by 2022 this should come on stream.
That's a fact, because Mr. Governor has put his commitment behind it. He has gone and he's provided funding, and for that reason we have a path, and we have a path to operations now.
Right. Okay. Last week we were dwelling on the new Lagos-Ibadan standard rail gauge, which is more or less been operational. It's receiving skeletal operations right now, and then we were also anticipating what the blue line will bring. How different is this going to be from what is operational right now with the Lagos-Ibadan standard rail gauge?
Well, the blue line for itself is sitting on a dedicated rail line. So, and we have, the vision is for us to have anything from a train every 3 minutes. That is the vision for the long term, a train every 3 minutes in peak period.
Okay.
But to start, we will have a train every 10 minutes.
Okay.
So we will be able to run at least 6 trains in an hour during peak period.
From Mile 2
Mile 2 to
Marina.
Wow,
that's massive. And I'll be carrying like how many passengers?
So that should do no less than 250 to 300,000 passengers a day.
Ooh.
When the full thing is done, it will be 450 to 500,000 passengers a day.
Right. And some were asking a question also last week about how different will it be. This one is a diesel multiple engine that we're having with the Lagos-Ibadan rail corridor. The blue line, are we talking about electric trains, or what is it going to be looking like?
Yes, we are talking about electric trains. So we will have EMUs, electric multiple units, and that has always been the design, and we're continuing with that design. We're mindful of the environment and all of what that brings to Lagos, and to ensure that we get that, we're talking with an IPP to provide power solely for that corridor of rail, and that is also, we're having that conversation and we're dealing with that as we move on with the completion of the construction of the blue line. All
right then. So Mr. Governor has equally been speaking about the red line. Talk to us about it. What are the features, or what do we have for the red line as well, and which corridor is it going to be running through?
So the red line will go from Agbado all the way to Marina. That's a full scheme. As a phase 1, we're going from Agbado to Oyingbo. So in order to implement this quickly, we have collaborated with the Federal Ministry of Transportation and NRC, and we will be sharing their tracks all the way to Ebute Metta, and we will be building new tracks from Ebute Metta to Oyingbo. In addition, we will build sidings, we will build 8 brand new stations, and we will stop at one of theirs as well. So we will have stations at Agbado, Agege, Iju, Ikeja, Mushin, Oshodi, Yaba, and Oyingbo. Those will be our stations that we will build, and we will stop at those. In addition, we will have 4 overpasses. When I say overpasses, I mean vehicular overpass over the rail line.
Rail line, okay.
So we will stop the safety challenges that we have now, where rail is passing at road is passing at grade, crossing the rail at grade.
Right.
So we will have 4 overpasses at Yaba, Oyingbo, Mushi, and Ikeja. We will also have 3 other pedestrian bridges to complement this.
Wow.
So from our perspective, we are also looking at this to be available for operations 4th quarter of 2022.
You mean it?
Yes.
That's going to be rapid, because considering that if it has taken so long for the blue line to come on stream, and you want to deliver the red line in just less than 2 years, it means a lot is going into that.
Well, yes, a lot of effort has gone into that. Mr. Governor has put a lot of effort into ensuring that we have the funding that we require, and that, I guess, is the reason why it's going to be that rapid, and also because we're piggybacking on some of the infrastructure that's already been built by the Federal Ministry of Transportation. There's been good collaboration between ourselves and the NRC and Federal Ministry of Transportation, and that has allowed us to at least provide for the people of Lagos a rail system that will move. Once it's done, that particular route will do nothing less than 350 to 400,000 passengers a day. When the full infrastructure is implemented all the way to Marina, we're looking at nothing less than 750 to 1 million passengers a day. So that's a very busy corridor, and that's part of the reason Mr. Governor is quite interested in pushing the infrastructure for that particular route.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. It's your side mirror, and today we're reflecting on 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu with specific reference to LAMATA, and the CEO, MD of LAMATA here with us this morning, taking us through this excursion. Engineer Abimbola Akinajo. She's our guest, and of course she's taking us to the classroom on how it all works. Now take a listen to this. 4 more rail lines planned for Lagos. I'm sure you want to know which routes these are going to be passing through. If you want to know, just keep it locked on your station of attraction, passion, fashion and action, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. A brief break, 1 or 2 messages. We'll be back. We'll talk about these 4 rail lines, and also you can connect with us on the program this morning on 08099120777. We're live on Facebook as well. That's Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. And if you want to also send us a tweet, feel free to connect with us during the course of the program. A brief break, we'll be back. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, your side mirror this beautiful Wednesday morning. And we're reflecting on 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration with specific reference to LAMATA, that is Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority. And Engineer Abimbola Akinajo is here with us, taking us to the classroom on how it all works. Let's reflect a bit on this before we begin to hear from people. 4 more rail lines planned for Lagos. Let's talk about that. Which rail lines are these ones?
Okay, so within our master plan, we actually have 7 rail lines, 6 metro and 1 monorail. So we have started to do the blue and the red. So the other 4 that we have actually placed adverts for, and we have received very good responses. Green line, 68 kilometers between Marina to the Lekki Free Trade Zone. Purple line from Redemption Camp to Ojo, that's another 60 kilometers of rail.
That's Redemption Camp to Ojo.
Yes.
Wow, that's going to be a long one. How many kilometers?
60.
Ooh, all right.
There's a yellow line from Ota to National Theatre, and that's about 34 kilometers. There's the orange line from Ikeja to Agbowa, that's about 48 kilometers. And we mustn't forget that we also have this monorail system. I call it the circle line because it goes from Ikeja, from Marina to Lekki to Victoria Island, and it goes all around, and it takes traffic from Victoria Island to Ikoyi to Lekki and back to Marina.
So more or less like a circle,
yes,
kind of monorail.
It's a monorail.
But I'm interested in the Ikeja Agbowa one because I have lots of people coming from Ikorodu all the time, and they ask the question, are we going to have a rail line that comes from Ikorodu? So you can confirm for us this morning. You called it what? The purple line?
The orange line.
Orange line. All right, so my Ikorodu friends, now you know a rail line is being planned for your territory, and it will go all the way from Ikorodu down to Ikeja. That's sounding very, very beautiful. And how soon are we going to be thinking of putting all of this into implementation?
So this year, we actually last year we put the expression of interest out from private sector to come and partner with the state, and we got very good responses. So we are at this point we are putting together a feasibility study that allows us to have a benchmark upon which we will discuss with the private sector. So these ones will not be done by the state, and in that sense we're expecting these to come to be done quicker, because the funding will come from the private sector. The vision of Governor Sanwo-Olu is to partner as much as we can with the private sector, and these particular 4 lines are being earmarked for partnership with the private sector. We've had very good responses so far. So later this year, by the second half of this year, we will begin to have conversations with those private sector people who have expressed interest in it. And hopefully within another 6 to 9 months, we would be able to. So we're hoping that we can at least start implementation on some of these come 2022.
All right. And all of this is anchored on a strategic transport master plan, I do understand, which LAMATA has been working with. And it has a long time kind of development agenda for transport infrastructure. Talk to us about it, Engineer Akinajo. What is this STMP? What's it all about?
So the Lagos Transport Master Plan was first prepared in 2009 and it was augmented in 2014. Right now, the master plan gets us all the way to 2032. Any state that wants to grow must have a plan, and Lagos identified that and prepared that plan, especially with regard to transportation infrastructure. And from that perspective, we have been working in line with that transportation master plan. Okay. So for that master plan, we have 14 BRT routes, for which we have implemented 3, and we are continuing to work along the lines of that. We have quality bus corridors on it, another 13. This year we will start the implementation of a total of 8 of them. Okay. And we have the funding for that, for quality bus corridors. And what that does for us is to provide bus routes for all of these bus route network that we have identified. Within the master plan, we've identified 445 bus routes, out of which we have implemented 57. Okay. So once we build all these, we will be rolling out more and more regulated bus transportation along those routes. We also have interchanges as well as bus terminals. So for instance, we have built the Oshodi bus interchange. We will be building Marina and Mile 2 interchange. At this point, the Marina interchange will have rail, it will have water, and it will have land transportation. So from that interchange, our intermodal visions will begin to be birthed. We will have the same with Mile 2. Mile 2 will also be an interchange with all 3 modes of transportation resident there. And we have about 36 bus terminals, and we've already done about 19 of them. This year, we have about 6 in construction that will be implemented and completed this year. Okay. We implemented Oyingbo last year. Unfortunately, we had that accident. But so those are the things that in terms of infrastructure for transportation, those are the things we have for physical infrastructure. There's obviously the soft ones about ensuring we have an ITS system for all our intelligent transport system that allows us to now have what you will see, be able to stand at a bus stop and see the buses that are coming when your bus is coming, be able to monitor the buses when they are en route so that we can know when a bus driver is speeding, when a bus driver is veering off track. All of those soft things are also part of what we have within our master plan, and those things we're rolling out as we speak.
All right then, so let's connect with you out there this morning. As you've heard from our guest, and she's been talking about 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. You can see there are lots of things in terms of transport infrastructure and lots of upgrades as well, and implementation which is carried out by LAMATA. So you have any questions, you want to also add your voice to the conversation this morning, let's connect with you on 0809 912 0777. Okay, that's 08099120777. My first caller on the line. Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
This is Ayo.
Ayo, how are you doing?
I'm good, sir.
All right, so talk to me, Ayo.
This is the kind of thing we want you to be bringing every morning. So it will ginger our sleep. I'm hearing good things, and the woman there is very, very vibrant. She knows what she's talking about. Now, the question I want to ask, you said, are you constructing another station for Red Line at Agege? Now the federal government is building one station, and in that jingle, I'm hearing that you are building another station for Agege. Thank you.
I want to know if there's another bus station being constructed, another train station constructed for Agege on the Red Line.
Agege, Red Line, yeah.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Ayo is asking that question. We'll put all the questions together so that we allow our guests to also respond. 08099120777 is the numbers to connect with us. We're talking transportation, but basically 600 days as that's gone. Hello there. Hello. All right, then we lost that one. 08099120777. Feel free to bring in your questions and connect with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, what's your name?
My name is Bolanle.
Bolanle, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Ikeja.
Go ahead then.
Okay, I'd like to appreciate the engineer with you. And of course, she's been very hands-on with all of what she said. But looking at what happened with respect to, the NSAS protest and all of that, and how a lot of these BRT buses were vandalized, is there anything in place? Because I believe probably if there were CCTV cameras, protection chairs or whatever, probably would have even at least known the culprits of those things. Because I see a situation where bringing these things pari passu with the existing bus drivers, and they want to rebel, and their major means of rebelling is probably trying to destroy some of these infrastructures that the government will try and put in place. So my question is, going forward, seeing that we've had an experience, is there a robust, security system for all of these infrastructures so that these hoodlums won't set us back again like they've done the last time? Thank you.
Great one then. Thank you so much. All right. So a very, very powerful question indeed. Like I said, we're going to be putting all the questions together before we allow the LAMATA MD. She's the managing director for LAMATA. And of course, like you heard, she's been, taking us through this discourse eloquently. And of course, she's still going to be providing more insights too into what the future portends. Hello there.
Hello. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning.
My name is Coyote.
Coyote.
I'm calling from Ikeja.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, and my greetings to the engineer too. She has spoken so brilliantly. Yeah, but my question is this: what are the milestones for the conclusion of these projects, and how would they be funded? And we have to look at it. We have to also consider the fact that the other line, is it called the blue line, the one from Badagry to the island, has taken so long. So these other projects, what are the milestones? I'd love to see them in my own lifetime. Yeah, thank you.
All right. You will definitely see them in your lifetime. All right. Thank you so much for your questions. How soon are they going to be brought to implementation? That is his question. We'll take some more. 08099120777. Talk to me this morning. We're reflecting on 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, especially as it relates to transport infrastructure implementation too. Hello there.
Hello, good morning.
All right. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Victor.
Good morning.
My name is John. I really appreciate the woman with you in the studio, and she has spoken so well. See, my question is regarding Orule Mile 2. You understand? Hello?
I'm with you.
Hello? Yeah, this construction has been on right from the days of, I think, I'm correct, Babajide Sanwo-Olu. And then it has been like that for a long while now. So I want to ask my engineer, how soon, but just like what the last speaker just said, I want to see it in his lifetime. I wish to see it in my lifetime as well, because you see, along this axis has been here for a very long time. And imagine boys are playing football on the road and things like that. So I don't know how soon this is going to be put into use.
Okay.
That's why I will ask my engineer to please throw more light on that. Thank you very much.
All right, then. Thank you so much. All right, so let's get back to you now, Engineer Akinajo. Right, you heard people now. If I'm to take it from the rear, people are concerned about the blue line. You've given your word that it will take out 2022. Perhaps you might just need to re-emphasize this. And why is it taking so long?
Okay, so maybe shall we start from the beginning so that we can deal with the questions that way?
All right.
So Ayo asked about the Agege rail, the red line, if we're building a station at Agege. The answer is yes, and the reason is this. For us, that would be the integration position. When you're coming from Ibadan, that is a place where we expect you to come off and get onto the intra-city rail system. So the train will bring you all the way from Ibadan and you will get off at Agege. For us, we're also building these stations because in the future, when we decide to build our own rail line independent of the sharing that we're doing, all these stations will already be available, so we're not wasting money or we're not scrapping what we've done.
So we're going to be having 2 stations there
at Agege. The first one will be for the intercity, the federal government system, and the second one will be for us, but they will be close to each other so that you can integrate, or you can get off and get onto it. So it's like what you have anywhere in the world, where you have an intercity rail system, you will have an intercity platform, and you have an intracity platform.
All right. Okay, then. So that's effectively tackled from Ayo. And then we also have the question.
So the next question comes from Bolanle from Ikeja, and a very valid point she makes about the vandalism that we had before and the robust security to protect this infrastructure. I would say that we do have, and part of the things that what we must and what Lagos State is continuing to do is to educate our people. We must take ownership of infrastructure. That is a definite. In terms of ensuring that our things are not destroyed, because it is yours and it is mine. So we first of all must take ownership. But in terms of the government, we are putting security in place. There's CCTV now in the reconstruction of that we're doing for Igbo and all the other. We're putting CCTV, we're putting gates, we're putting security there, because we acknowledge the fact that these things have happened. We have seen it. It is in the knowledge of the things that have gone that we must move forward. And yes, we are doing that.
Okay, great. All right, then. Kayode is also wondering, he says, what are the milestones for the completion of this project and how soon will it come on stream?
So, Kayode from Ikeja, thank you very much for your question. And I think this question is very valid, and it's valid for the reason that, like he says, we've been building the blue line for 10 years. The reason for that length of time is because of funding. Lagos State, you must acknowledge, is the only subnational that has attempted and is attempting to build rail lines by itself, at least of the magnitude that we're seeing. Now, from that perspective, the challenge that the blue line had was based on funding. And Mr. Governor, acknowledging that, has gone and he has sought the funding for the completion of the blue line. So he's not saying this in, sort of thinking, I'm hoping I will find the money. He has actually gone out and he has identified the pot of money, and we have got it. And so we're working to a timetable based on assurances of funding. Okay. So when we say to you that will be completed and be operational third quarter of 2022, that's an assurance the governor is giving based on knowledge that he knows what he has gone to provide for us to do the work.
All right, then. So lots of assurances there. And also, the next question is the same, which is from John. He wants to know when he's going to... But I think you just answered that in passing as well. Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, a brief break. When we return, we'll be hitting the home stretch of the program this morning. Let's see if we can take a few of your messages as well. Mike, let's connect with you this morning. What are they saying?
All right, this one from Tajuddin says, good morning, Victor and LAMATA bus. My name is Tajuddin. Heavy human traffic at ticketing point cause a lot of delay. Is it possible to get Cowrie card recharged on our phones just the same way we do for mobile phone recharge? This is the best way to reduce human traffic at the bus stations.
All right, then, Tajuddin, thank you so much. And that's the one we take because of time constraints. So, Engineer Akinajo, Is that possible? Can we do that via our phones?
So we already have an app for the Cowrie card, and we're rolling that out in the next couple of months. So we've been looking at the traffic and we understand the system. What we've done is to study it, and we now know. We've been developing that app. That app is now available. We will be rolling it out very shortly. And yes, you will be able to top up your recharge card on your phones.
Wonderful. So let's project into the future now as we round off the program this morning. A lot has been achieved, like you said, in these 600 days. But going further ahead, what should Lagosians be looking up to as we talk about more years for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu?
So it's like I say, from where transportation is at, the vision is intermodal transportation. So we will have the implementation of these 2 rail lines, like I said. The next one we're looking at is the green and the purple. And we will have private sector come and work with us. So as we're finishing the blue and the red, we will be starting the green and the purple. We will have more buses because we're now partnering with private sector. So we have these 550 buses that we've launched, and that's been like a seed to calling private sector.
Right.
So for our 445 bus routes that we've implemented 57, we expect new buses. The vision is in another couple of years, 2-3 years, we want to have 2,000 high-capacity buses on the roads of Lagos.
Wonderful. All right, then. We can only envision that all this will come to stream very, very soon. And it is our hope that Lagos will continue to experience great transport infrastructure of this nature. Nice to have you in the building. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you very much, Victor, for having me.
All right.
It's been a pleasure.
So I've been speaking with the Managing Director of LAMATA, Engineer Abimbola Akinajo. And, of course, we've been reflecting on 600 days of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. But we have to go now. Thank you so much. Mike James has produced the program this morning. Maximum thanks to Kola Ojelabi, who's Director Corporate Communications for LAMATA. Thank you for always being there and getting our back all the time. Kayodema Folasheri, Philip Akinwara, and Mubosala Kasali are of our social media team. And maximum thanks to our executive producer, Tayo Akonle. Till tomorrow when we return for another 600 days reflection of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu. I leave you with the words of George Bernard Shaw. He says, progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Till then, have a great day. Bye.